All right. So about a week ago or so now, I sent a what's called a demand letter to both General RV and Jayco, pretty much demanding. It's what you do before you file a lawsuit or go to a small claims court or civil court, um, asking them or demanding that they provide the refund. The things I've been requesting. Jayco's reply, even though in my demand letter I said I will not accept a reply of "we stand by our warranty," please respond with "we accept your demands" or "we do not accept your demands." Excuse me, my computer. Ugh. And Jayco just replied with "we stand behind our warranty." And I said, "Hey, that's not acceptable. That's not what I'm asking. I need a yes or no." And they replied again with "we stand behind our warranty." So just an example of these companies, they just dodge and, avoid and evade any actual answers, any accountability. And then I sent the same thing to General RV. So I give them credit. He did reply saying, "Hey, this email is an acknowledgement of your demand letter," which is professional of them at least to reply like that. And then said, "I spoke again with our corporate team or our ownership team," I think he said, "and we stand by our original statement. We will not be providing any refunds." I was demanding for those fees to be refunded, plus a little bit more for my time and mental health suffering, etc. Looking at small claims court, the most you can go for is $6,500. And I said, "You know what? I'm not looking to get rich here. I'm just looking to be compensated for my time, for the emotional distress they've caused, and refunded for the fees that they charged." And so I said, "All right, 6,500 small claims, that's the max. So that sounds fair. Let's start there." They said no. And then I said, "Okay, well, you know what? Again, not trying to get rich." I said, "I'm willing to negotiate here. I'll take 4,000. That's the total of, it's 3,900, but I said 4,000. That's the total of all those fees before I take this any further." And they replied again, "Nope, we stand by what we said. We're not going to give any refunds." So doing all the research, I wish I would have done more before I purchased from General RV. There are tons of YouTube videos out there that I'm finding about people having poor practices with General RV. One of them, he's a guy, it's called like Halitz RV out of like Coldwater, Michigan. I think it's now called Bish's. I think they got bought out. But he's done a ton of videos, one of which he actually uses a contract that a customer brought to him and explains how he doesn't mention the company, but it's General RV, by how he explains, what the dealership contract is without naming them. And then explains how shady they are, all the things that they're doing, why he hates dealerships like that, because he says majority of dealers are good, honest people. And then he relates General RV to the phone scammers out of Pakistan or, the Middle East, wherever these people are that are trying to scam and steal people's money by making those phone calls, claiming they're from the IRS or whatever. So I wish I would have seen this guy's video, that one, before I purchased and gone to his dealership. It was like 3 hours away, but I would have made that drive. Yeah, so I started looking into more videos 11 months ago. So about a year ago, it's found that the Utah General RV location is under investigation for acts of fraud, fraudulently changing customers' contracts. And when they contacted corporate, the only thing they could reply with was, we're not going to comment, basically. So, instead of saying the right thing, such as, we are currently investigating this, if, and, cooperating with law enforcement, if fraud is, found, or whatever appropriate action will be taken, or whatever it is. No, they're just not going to comment. So I guarantee they know that it was going on. I guarantee they just are trying to line their pockets as much as they can. There are a couple other videos out there about General RV and some of their fraudulent practices. There's one out there where like the majority of the comments don't believe it's actually a real review. It's just somebody trying to make them look good. Because people are saying there's no way a dealership would do or say half the things that are going on in that video. So General still refuses to provide any compensation. I'm finding more and more articles that people are sending me, thank you, about issues with quality control coming out of the factories, about how, especially like one of them is about Jayco, about how they used to, one person would touch, 5 trailers a day, used to be. And then when the demand shot up, one person was, working on 20 trailers a day, and they didn't hire more people. Workers complaining about poor work conditions and all this other stuff. One person said that Thor has a clause in their warranty that you can't sue them unless you go to Indiana to sue them. I'm not sure about that one. I just thought it was interesting. So I am 100% regretting now my decision to purchase that trailer. Faith should hopefully be patched in as a service dog this Friday. Doesn't mean that she is obviously 100% trained, can't keep working with her and everything, but she's trained enough to be considered a service dog. And I wanted to start doing some travel, but I don't think that's going to happen. Looking at some Class C's that I wanted to buy, all the really nice ones and ones that I can afford that have what I want are like 3-4 hours away. So that's kind of hard when I'm just me, myself, trying to, find friends and family willing to take that time, basically a whole day to go with me. But yeah, so my next step now is just trying to sell the trailer and get some of my money back. Try not to lose more than, $6,000-$7,000, which would suck, but it's better than sitting on this thing. Just hard because of the time of year. Nobody's buying right now, except for one guy who offered me a tax donation purchase receipt or something to where I could write it off on taxes from his ministry. And was only trying to offer me like $13,000 and showing me comparisons based on, manufacturers I've never heard of and models that don't even compare. So I had a couple other people ask, and then they don't reply. That's just the fun of selling online. I know by next summer it'll sell for, probably $30,000 if I wanted to, because that's when everybody's buying. But I don't want to wait that long. So we'll see. I'm trying to be patient. But if anybody has any recommendations on lawyers, I don't know if they have to be in Michigan or if a civil rights lawyer is, can be from anywhere, that someone, you're related to somebody, or whatever it is, to help me out. I've sent a bunch of requests to a bunch of lawyers, sent in, to all the news stations, seeing if anybody wants to help me out, take up the case. I called the Macomb County Bar Association or whatever it is, Lawyers Association, where you give them your information and they set you up, tell them about your case. They set you up with a lawyer who handles those type of things. And apparently they're not adding any new lawyers until like middle of next year. And all their lawyers they have that they recommend are tied up. So they said they don't have anybody to refer me to. And when I said, okay, well, should I just take it to small claims? The gentleman I spoke to said, well, as soon as you name a corporation, on a lawsuit in small claims, they automatically update it to district court to a civil matter. So I can't do it myself. So I'm looking for somebody to at least sit down and talk to and see what they have to say. If I have a case, if they're able to help, what it's going to cost me to get it. Again, I'm not looking to strike it rich. So, if I got to go with a lawyer, obviously it's going to be a little bit more involved than just $6,500. So yeah. So if anybody has anything that can help me, I'd really appreciate it. As again, I just got myself trying to handle all this while still, training faith, still trying to do things that keep me mentally and physically healthy, without pouring my entire day into looking at this stuff. I'm trying to step away from it a little bit more to help myself out. So yeah, again, repeating, if anyone has anything that can help, any contacts, please let me know. Most of you who watch this are friends of mine anyways, so you've got my number or my Facebook. If you're somebody else who just happens to stumble on this, please leave something in the comments, and we'll see what happens next. Yeah, I don't know. Looking at some Class C's maybe this weekend, maybe going to buy one. Maybe it's a rash decision again. But if I do, I'll make some videos about that one. So, till next time.